Indeed, lads, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I will be ranking the best midfielders currently in the game of FIFA 22 for you guys. We have a total of 46 players, so we're going to run through each of them one by one and place them in these tiers that you see on the left side of your screen. The S tier, the A tier, the B tier, and of course the C tier, which would be the lowest rank, and the S rank being the highest rank. Before we start, of course, this is going to be opinion based, so there's going to be some sort of disagreements here and there where you think someone should be ranked maybe a bit higher, a bit lower. But when I'm ranking these players, what I'm really going to take into account is my personal experience with them, a pro's personal experience with them, the community's experience, and of course their stats. Alright, indeed, so let's hop into it. So the midfielders we're going to be working with today are going to be box-to-box midfielders. For example, Pedri, a great example, someone who can go forward and defend. If you don't see like an attacking mid here, like let's say a Smith Rowe, that's because he's not really a midfielder. I would put him like in an attacker sort of tier list. This one is just midfielders, box-to-box, they can go forward and defend. Let's go. So future stars Pedri, guys. This is 100% an S tier player. 5-star skills, 4-star weak foot. Take a look at those stats on the card. 90 pace, 95 dribbling, 85 defending, 80. He can do it all. He can go forward, he can defend. I watched plenty of reviews on him. I haven't got my hands on him to use him in game, but we all know this card is absolutely insane. All right, next up we got Kakaret. Now this card right here, I've actually used him this past weekend. Great card. He's just a pure defender in a way. He does not have the skills, and the shooting is very low, 68 shooting. So I would put this guy in the A tier just because he doesn't have that sort of attacking presence in a way. He can definitely dribble, he can definitely pass and go forward with that pace, but the shooting and the skills is just not there. All right, so Zakaria, however you say it. Now this card is supposed to be a Juventus card, I believe, but it does not matter. The same stats are on it. So this card right here, he's sort of like a Vieira. You know, Vieira's not really an attacking midfielder. He's just there to be that big body, that beast in the middle, to clean up and sweep up any counterattacks that are coming your way. And that's what this guy does pretty much. His dribbling is lacking, his shooting is lacking. He doesn't have the skills, but he is 100% A tier. I can't give him S tier because he can't really do it all in a way. He can definitely go forward, but he's not your ideal guy to go forward from the midfield. Look at this card, Gravenberch, guys. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing. I used his UCL card this past weekend, that 20k, 19k card. And now we saw this card come out. This card is definitely absolutely insane because that UCL card was insane. This card here, 100% S tier alongside Pedri. Can't wait to get my hands on him. Maybe next weekend I'll take a look at him. Team of the year, Angelo Conte. Now guys, we all know what he's about. 100% S tier. Now he is lacking the skills that Zakaria and Kakaret are lacking as well, but Kante is Kante. He can do pretty much everything. He really can. He's got the boosted shooting, the great passing. Now his gold card passing, absolutely horrendous, but this card can 100% pass, can dribble as well, 90 pace in the midfield, and he gets stuck in. He wins every single ball that comes his way, and he gets there like that. This new card in the game, Elmas, future stars. Now I'm telling you guys right now, he's got 5-star skills as well, so he's sort of like a Pedri, but the stats are not as boosted. So I'm going to give him the A tier because I tested him out for like 2 games. He felt great on the ball, but just because he doesn't have those 90s, those stats like there like a Pedri, I can't put him on the same level. If you're playing Serie A and you're looking for a defensive mid who can also go forward, so pretty much a center mid, a box-to-box, this is your guy 100%. Throw a hunter on him and he can do everything you want. Future stars Fut Champs. Now this card right here, guys, I used his second inform and he felt so clunky, so bad on the ball, going forward, even defending, he felt a bit like just out of it. But this card right here is different 100%. I've seen the gameplay, I've watched the reviews. He is Vieira. He is on that level, if not above it. This guy's a pure defender in the midfield. He's like Kante. Kante and him in the midfield together, absolutely unstoppable. If you can make that pairing happen, go ahead and do it. But this guy right here is an absolute unit in the midfield. I'm not sure why it shows a Swiss flag for Gallagher, but we all know he's from England, so disregard that. But what I wanted to talk about is that he is sort of that midfielder that isn't really good at one thing. For example, Kante, he's got 3-star skills, but amazing defensive stats. And let's say Pedri, he's got 5-star skills, good defensive stats, but he's more of like an attacker in a way. This guy here, he has 3-star skills and low defensive stats, so he's not really overpowered in one attacking stat or defensive stat. Let's say he's really just a well-rounded midfielder. Now, I don't really like players like that in my midfield. I want him to at least have skills or at least have great defensive stats. He doesn't really have either of those, so I'm going to have to throw him in the A tier for now. Definitely a great card, but he just doesn't really have that it factor for me, man. And the reviews I've watched, he doesn't look like that guy. Team of the year, Georgino. Now, we all know this guy is going into the S tier. Now, if EA did not give him the 4-star boost to this team of the year, he probably would be in the A tier right now. That's how much skills really matter in this game, guys. So we got another Chelsea lad over here, Chaloba, only redeemable through objectives. Now, this card right here, he is not the feeling of, let's say, a Kante or a Fut Champs. He doesn't even look like it as well through reviews, but he definitely looks like a monster, so he's going to have to go in the A tier. But he just doesn't have that it factor. His dribbling is not the best. He's got low shooting, so he can't really go forward as well. He's more of a defender, obviously. He also has that center back option if you pick that. but Chaloba, A tier for me. Jude Bellingham. Now, boys, hopping straight into the S tier. We all know that this guy can do literally anything on the pitch. I watched #Tom use him in this weekend league, and guys, he's moving different. He is moving absolutely different. He might be top 3 out of all the best midfielders here in the S tier. I'm telling you right now, if you can get your hands on this guy and link him, get him. All right, so for the French Guerretzka, now I don't know why there's a French flag, guys. Disregard that. The dribbling is a little bit on the lower end, and he's got 3-star skills, so he can't really give you that sort of creative midfielder sort of aspect. He's more of a destroyer, absolute tank in the midfield to absolutely destroy everybody who comes his way. Now that's what he's good for. Now can he go forward though? He can. Obviously he's got shooting, he's got passing, he's got dribbling, but it's not top tier. So I'm going to have to put him in the A tier. I feel like a lot of you will disagree with me, but I like a midfielder that can really do it all. Seko Fofana. Now, guys, you're going to get mad at me because I'm going to throw this guy in the S tier. And for the reasons why I'm going to do that, before you get mad at me, it's because I used him before and I know what he can really do in game. I've watched him as well. The links he gives as well to the League One players, the Mbappes, the Messis, the Neymars, all the other midfielders like War up next tier. Fofana, guys, in game, he gives you sort of that it factor on the defensive side. He's got that reach to him. He's got, I don't know, he just always comes out with the ball. So I have to rank him at the S tier. I know he doesn't have the skills or the dribbling like I ranked all these guys down here for, but he's got to go in the S tier for me. There's going to be some disagreements, but I'm open to all of them. Leave them in the comments below. Awar is up next. So this guy right here, Awar, he doesn't have those top end stats to this day still. Back then when Winter Wildcard was out, he was a top tier card. Now, of course, as the game goes on, his stats kind of go lower and lower in a way when these higher tier cards come out. So Awar is going to be placed in the A tier for me. He's still a very great card. He can pretty much do it all. The defending and physicals are a bit low, so he's got to go in the A tier. His stats are sort of depleting in a way, and he's kind of dropping below the curve. Team of the Year, Kevin De Bruyne. Now, of course, he's going in the S tier. Have you seen the shooting on this guy? If you have not, take a look at it in some videos, man. Green time finesses, green time shooting from anywhere. Either foot, 5-star weak foot on him. He can do anything. Lasts you all game with the great stamina as well. The links to Georgino, Kante, Cancelo, Ruben Diaz. He's 100% in the S tier. Winter Wildcard, Luka Modric. Now, the thing is about this guy is that a lot of people do not use him, but he is obviously a good card, but he's lacking in the physicals a bit, and the shooting is a bit low. So we're going to have to put him in the A tier. I don't think he's really S tier because of the physicals being that low, but of course, still a great card. He's sort of that creator in the midfield that you can have over sort of that destroyer, like let's say a Guerretzka. Ucl Frankie Deyoung. Now, guys, I would even use this guy's gold card still to this day. I used him last Fut Champs. The gold card is still very good. And now this card here, I can't imagine how much better it is. But the thing is, he's lacking the skills, he's lacking the shooting, so I cannot put him in the S tier. 100% in the A tier though. So far, all the cards are hopping in the S and A tier. So, I mean, these are very good cards, but sooner or later, we'll get some B and C tiers hopping in there. But for now, Team of the Year honorable mention, Bruno Fernandez. Now, you guys are going to disagree with me on this, but he's hopping in the S tier for me. This guy, his inform even moves crazy in game. I tried out this card. It's different, man. It is absolutely different. I throw a shadow on him. You can throw an anchor as well. He can do literally everything. 4-star, 4-star. He was even cracked last year, so this year I had to try him out again, especially this card. Top tier, guys. Moving on to Barella. Now, he has 3-star, 3-star, so we all know I'm going to have to rank him in the A tier, but he feels like Kante in game. I can give him that. He is that engine in the midfield. He's lacking the shooting. He's lacking the pace in a way. The defending and physicals are like mid-tier, mid-80s, but he's definitely a great card to use. Serie A is not really a popular league in FIFA. I'm not sure why, but him and let's say Elmas in the midfield would be a great pairing. Player moments, Lucas Pakitta. Now, his SBC expired, but anyways, for those of you who have him, he is not a good defender, man. He's going to have to hop in the A tier for me. He can't really do the defensive work, as the stats kind of say. 77 defending with 86 physicals. When he puts an attack, he does not come out with it. I'm not sure why. I think it's because he's just not a pure defender to heart, like a Kante, Tuchemeni, anything like that. He can do everything else. He's got the 5-star skills, 3-star weak foot, but the skills kind of help. He's more of like that attacking sort of midfielder, but he can't really get the job done defensively. Another player moments, Julian Draxler. Now, this card here, he was released very early in the game. I actually have him. I still use him now for chemistry sometimes, but he's not really that good. So it's going to be our first B tier card, Julian Draxler. He feels a bit clunky on the ball. I got to tell you guys right now, man. He doesn't have those dribbling stats, that body type to really dribble in the midfield and create, and he doesn't really have those defensive and physical stats. He's low on the stamina. He's just not really it anymore. Winter Wildcard, Guendouzi. Now, I used this card about 2 weeks ago, and he felt a bit clunky on the ball. I was not very impressed. Everybody was gassing him up, but he just really has well-rounded stats. It's not like top tier, dribbling and shooting, or top tier pace and defending. He's just very well-rounded. He doesn't really have the skills as well, so I'm going to have to throw him in the A tier, but he's a good player. He's a monster. He gets the job done, but he's not top S tier. Ucl Fred. Now, he was released very early in the game. I still use him here and there for links sometimes with my CR7, but he's just, falling below the curve. He needs a bit of upgrades. Hopefully, man, you can do something in the Champions League. But for now, he's going to have to hop in the B tier. He's definitely an engine in the midfield like a Kante. He's got dribbling on him. The stamina, of course, he's got 99 stamina and the skills, but he's just below the curve with his dribbling. Even the shooting, the pace, is just not that top S tier level. Signature signing Marco Cirente. Now, his gold card is absolutely amazing still to this day. He's in the Hula gang with all 80 pluses, as are a lot of our midfielders here. But this guy here, he moves a bit different. Now, he's not S tier level. He doesn't have the skills and all that. He's a monster in the midfield, so I'm going to have to throw him in the A tier. We all know this guy can get the job done. He's got a lot of links to players in the La Liga and the Spain link as well. Winter wildcard Pogba. Now, no matter how many cards Pogba gets in all of FIFA, his last year's FIFA, the FIFA before that, he just still has his clunkiness to him when dribbling, man. He just never feel smooth on the ball. I don't understand what it is. He's got low pace here, low defending. I mean, he's got great dribbling and passing and all that, but he's just not that S tier player, and I don't think he ever will be unless they give him an extreme boost towards the end of the year. But right now, he's not that S tier card. Winter wildcard Adel Taarabt. Now, he is a very, very underrated player. I'm telling you right now. I put him in a lot of my squad builders. A lot of my fans here, you guys know, I love this guy. He can do pretty much everything. He's got 5-star, 4-star. I love everything about him. You guys would think I'll put him in the B tier, but I'm throwing him in the A tier. He can do defensive work as well. He puts in a better tackle than Pakitta, I'm telling you guys. Winter wildcard Milinkovic Savic. Now, he's got the 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills, 90 dribbling to him, but I'm telling you guys, I used him. That dribbling is a lie. The pace is very low. Maybe throw a shadow or a hunter on him if you want to use him, but he's just not that guy. He feels very clunky. He's high in average body type on him. It's just not it. You guys are going to probably disagree with me, but I'm throwing him in the B tier. He's just not a player I enjoyed using, man. Foot versus Fire Valverde. Now, he's got the great pace in the midfield. He's got the defending, but the dribbling, man, is not it. I think he's got like 80 agility, 83 dribbling on him, low balance. The shooting is not good as well. He can't go forward with no skills. I just can't put him in that S tier, but he is an absolute monster in the midfield, so I'm going to have to put him in the A tier because he's a monster defensively, and sometimes that's all you need sometimes, paired along with an offensive midfielder, so he's definitely going to go in the A tier for me. Future stars Tyler Adams. Now, he's looking like a decent card. He's an American lad, 89 pace, good defending and physicals. The dribbling, the skills, the weak foot. He's got 3-star skills, 3-star weak foot, 82 dribbling. He's got like 80 actual in-game stat dribbling on him. The shooting is very low. I just cannot give this guy an S tier or an A tier. He's going to hop into the B tier for me. Showdown Kovacic. Now, guys, he was released as an SBC alongside Naby Keita, Chelsea versus Liverpool. But Kovacic, he can't really do anything other than dribble and pass. I mean, obviously, those stats are very well-rounded, 75s, 80s. But the pace, the shooting is a little bit lacking. The defending and physicals are just not it. So I'm going to have to throw him in the A tier. Actually, I might throw him in the B tier. I mean, dribbling and passing is just not enough. There's so many other players that can do that as well. Kovacic is hopping in the B tier for me. Signature signing Renato Sanchez. Now, we all know this card gets the job done 100%. Now, is he falling below the curve a bit with this card? Yes, in a way, so I can't throw him in that S tier. I'm going to throw him in the A tier because we all know this guy's a beast in-game, going forward and defending, but he's just not really there yet. He's got to get another special card to really hop into that S tier. Headliners and Nkunku. Now, he's got about like 8 cards in the game already. I don't know what's going on. This guy's having a season and a half, but this card right here, he can do a lot of good stuff. The defending is a little bit on the lower end, the physicals too, but he's got that 4-star skills. He's got the pace, the shooting, the dribbling, and the passing. 3-star weak foot on him, though. He's got outside the foot trait and finesse shot shooting trait, but I can't give him that S tier because he doesn't have all those stats well-rounded to that top tier end like some of these cards in the S tier. So he's going to hop into the A tier, especially the 3-star weak foot is kind of dragging him down. Headliners Kimmich. Now, I wish this guy had some pace on him, like 82 or 83 pace on him. It would make him such a good card because he actually has a decent touch on him, decent dribbling. You know, he's got 86s, 87s on him, but he doesn't have that pace. He doesn't have that shooting. He doesn't have those stats that you really need in a midfielder to go forward and defend. He's got great physicals, though, with the 99 stamina, but he's got to go in the B tier for me, man. Showdown Keita, he was the one who was going against Kovacic, as I said before. Now, he's got 4-star, 4-star, and he has amazing dribbling. But other than that, he just has bang average stats, guys. I can't give him the S tier or the A tier because other than the dribbling and the skills and the weak foot, I guess you can say, he's not really that crazy. He's got 84 stamina as well. In the midfield, you want someone with high stamina. Rule breakers Verratti. Now, this was an SBC all the way in the beginning of the game. He is dying down, guys, but I know a lot of people still use him, and I got to rank him in that C tier. He just doesn't have the pace. Even with the shadow, it only goes to like low 80s. The shooting is very low. He's got great dribbling, decent passing. You know, the physicals are decent as well, but he's got that small body type. I can't give him even the B tier. Winter wildcard. So now this card here, guys, is an absolute maniac in game going forward, defending, especially defending the reach he has on him. He's almost like a Vieira. I don't know how this card really does that. He gives links into future stars and Dika as well, and Mbabu if you want to create a little triangle right there with him. But he was an SBC card, by the way. Man, this card is absolutely amazing. I'm so close to putting him in the S tier, but I'm going to have to put him in the A tier. Winter Wildcard Atiba. Now, he's like a Kante in game, but with more pace, dribbling, and passing, which is great. But he doesn't have 4-star skills. He has 3-star skills. He's got 68 finishing on him. His actual in-game dribbling stat is 82. It's just not what, it's not ideal for a midfielder to go forward. He gets the job done defensively, but I got to throw him in the B tier for me because of the links as well. Nigerian nation, he can only link with Premier League players. Headliner Savenir. I used him in some squad builders that I made for you guys, and he's a great card. He can do pretty much everything, but the pace and shooting is a bit low, and the defending and physicals are just on the lower end. The dribbling and passing is sort of higher tier, but he's not that S tier, of course. And A tier, I'll give him A tier. If there was like a B plus or A minus tier, I'd probably throw him in there. Rule Breakers Kessie. Now, this card was released early in the game. I believe it's the first promo that came out, so he's sort of dropping below the curve. He's got great passing on him, though. The in-game stat for passing is 96 and 90 passing for short and long passing, but the pace is sort of getting on the lower end. He's got a great body build to him, great defending and physicals. The shooting is a bit low and the dribbling is a bit low, so he's going to have to hop into the B tier alongside Atiba. Adidas Dele Alli. Now, his card is only getting boosted in terms of dribbling, so everything else other than that is not that good. Now, he gives links to a lot of players, English, and Tottenham from the Premier League, but, guys, he's just not it. He's going to have to hop into the C tier for me. 73 pace on a guy like that. With 70 defending, he can't really defend as well. He's going in the C tier alongside Verratti. Foot versus Fire Cloud Maurice. Other than the pace and dribbling, this card is very bang average. Low stamina as well, with like 84 stamina. Low defensive stats. I mean, he can do the job. He's got great links, but I'd only put him in your team if you just need links or chemistry or if you're on a budget. So I'm going to throw him in the B tier because he's not bad. He's got 4-star skills, but he's just not an A tier level player or an S tier, of course. Ucl Vidal. Now, 78 pace on him is not ideal, but he's got the physicals and the defending to him. The dribbling is not that good. 82 in-game stat of dribbling. The shooting is alright. The passing is actually very good. He's a very good card. 3-star skills. He's more of a defender, so I can't throw him in that S tier. I'll throw him in that A tier, though. I'll give him that. If there was like an A minus or B plus, I would throw him in there. Ucl Tonali. Now, at this point in the game, he was released very early. He is just not really it. He's got bang average stats other than the pace and the passing. And he's just got 3-star weak foot. He can't really do much anymore at this point in the game. So I'm going to throw him in that C tier alongside Dele Alli and Verratti. Rule Breakers Casimiro. Now, we already know he's hopping into the C tier because of that pace. They boosted his shooting with this promo, so it's very good. The physicals and defending as well. Decent passing, but the dribbling and the pace is just not usable. Capoue, an SBC earlier on in the year. Now, he's just not above the curve anymore. He's falling below it. He's got lower pace. The dribbling is lower. The defending and physicals, I'll give him that, even though the stamina is 86. He still won't really last you all game at this point. So he was a monster, and keyword was. I'm going to throw him in the C tier because he's just very outdated now. And if you have him, look to make some changes with some of these A tier or S tier players. And we're on to our last card here, Rule Breakers Onyeka. Now, he's just very outdated at this point. He's 100% going in the C tier. Low passing, shooting, and the dribbling is not even good. I just can't give him anything more than a C tier. But other than that, guys, this is what I got for you. The S tier, A tier, B tier, and the C tier as you see it, based on all the pros, let's say, experiences, community's experiences, and of course, my experiences. This is what I got for you guys. Of course, it's opinion-based. Leave any comments below of what you think should change here. Which player should hop up a tier or below a tier. Let me know in the comments below. Always here to discuss. Join the Discord as well if you want to hop in there and talk about squad building or FIFA in general. We got a big community in there, and it's only growing. Other than that, guys, take care.